right, that was interesting. The money though, is that the make or break aspect still when it comes to a man? Like, can he measure up, have all these great qualities, but at 40K you just simply not checking for him? Is that still the law?
I think on his end, I feel like men think of themselves less more than women think.
Well, let Dana go. What do you think, Dana?
You can't make 40K and date me. We're not. I don't even want to ring around the rosy with this shit.
Wow.
It's a firm no. It's
wow.
Especially if, again, I'm a traditional person. So if I'm going to relinquish and submit, and if I'm going to concede, or if I'm going to make concessions rather, and you're going to make sacrifices, when shit gets real, what you going to do with your little 40K? How's that going to help us? How's that going to save us? What are you sacrificing?
40K.
No. I ain't going to be able to do it.
Little 40K.
That's cute.
Oh my God.
But what if he knows how to manage that 40K, Dana?
There's nothing to manage, Nay. Is he gonna eat? Are we gonna eat? Am I gonna eat? Or are we gonna sit in the dark? Like, what are you?
Listen, he may have good budgeting skills with that 40K.
There's nothing to budget, Nay.
You're gonna be late on something.
Large. You're not getting a large.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Think about that. What's that? 40,000 divided by 12.
Damn, a lot of money. I was at that.
Math ain't math.
If they both are making 45K a year, that's
$90,000 home.
Yes, that is enough money to live off of for two people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Now,
it may not be to live off of. That's not enough money for me to submit to you.
That's not enough money for you to submit to him. But what I'm saying is what I've said before is men have to pick a woman and that is going to be okay with what he's making.
You're right.
I mean, that's just it.
But he asked me, and I am not okay. We are.
So that's 90K with no kids, though, right? Like you can live.
Yeah, because once you have kids.
So yes, that's what I was about to say. Of course, they're not going to have kids because once you have kids, then you have to get another form of income because you have to provide for the kids. So if it's just the two of them, yes, they'll be good to go. But when you start having kids, you're talking about a legacy and things of that sort. You're talking about a bigger home to have those kids in. You have to be able to provide for them. So yeah, Dana, he would have to make more money. But
even if you go ahead, Ro, I'm sorry.
If it's just the two of them, that is a reasonable income to live off of in a two people household.
Hell to the no.
No, it's not. It's not because at the end of the day, for me to compromise. Okay, you want me to read that?
No, I'm looking.
Okay, for me to compromise that means I would have to compromise the lifestyle that I'm already accustomed to having. I don't make $45,000 a year. Okay, so that means I can't be comfortable the way that I've been comfortable. I'm not expecting you to take on the burden or take on all of my bills and yada yada yada. But if we want to travel and we plan for a trip, and you're like, nah, I can't afford it. Like, that's just not a life that I choose to live. I don't want to have to compromise so much for the sake of you having potential. I'm almost fucking 40 years old. I don't give a fuck about your potential anymore. It's time to actualize that shit.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Just playing devil's advocate. So what if you met this guy? The conversation was like so amazing and he looked good and everything was going well. You're gonna say, so how much do you make a year? And he says,
I don't ask that.
Okay, so you don't even know.
I don't.
Everything else is going really well for a while. So at what point when he tell you like him, at what point would you be like, hell no? Like you like him and everything, and then now you find he makes 45, it's like an automatic no?
I mean, does he have like passive income on the side? Does he have does he sell shirts? Does he like what else does he do?
I mean, because I'm just saying, like, you know, he has his own place, he has a decent vehicle. and he has no kids, so things are really good. And you're like, oh my God, this is such a great guy. You're not off the bat asking, well, how much do you make? You might ask what he does, and you're trying to figure out, okay, so he could possibly make this, but it depends if he's entry level. You don't know. But you ask these questions later on down the road, but you already like him. Are you gonna just say, I'm good on you because you don't make enough money for me?
I wouldn't say that, but I feel like when you're getting to know somebody and you're dating them and you're going through the process, I have an idea of how much you make, or at least a range, without having to ask, how much money you make, or how much you have in assets, or what your worth is, or anything like that. If we're trying to go out on a date, or if we're talking about planning trips, or if you're just talking to me about your weekend and what you did, I have an idea. And so it's only going to get so far if I don't feel like this is somebody who is aligned with my life and the things that I can afford and do afford and like to do. So if you're not already there, it's not going to get very far anyway.
So,
but to answer your question very directly, if I did find out later on he made $45,000 a year and didn't have no other income and no assets or anything, it would be a deal breaker for me. Yes.
Okay.
So with that, I want to do, so let me show y'all this real quick. Get the likes up, get the likes up, get the likes up. Shout out to Ro. She sent this. Y'all see my screen? Who was the doctor, Ro? I forgot the name.
Dr. Tart. He's a very well-known therapist, relationship expert, Christian based. And him and his wife have a YouTube channel, and they go through speaking about relationships. And him and his wife talked about, are there enough Black men to marry? 5 qualities men desire in a wife, and 5 qualities a wife desires in a husband.
Okay. So let's say we take these. 1, affection. Can you touch me and make me feel connected? 2, conversation. Can we share our world with one another and have fun, stimulating, deep conversation with one another often? Openness and honesty. Can you open up about your shortcomings as a man and your own mistakes? Can you possess great character? Financial security. Can you decrease her emotional anxiety about finance, savings, lifestyle? Can you free her mind from the stress of bills, savings, emergency funds? Number 5, family commitment. Can you be a great family man, great husband, father, godfather, church member, community service, etc., in addition to being a great at business? Here's what I'm speculating. The finances have been pushed so far to the plateau. These other things aren't even being considered without the finances. Do we see a potential issue if marriage is still something that we want? Finances. Why is a man proven by just his finances, it seems?
I don't think that's true. I said if the right man shows up, meaning with all that other stuff, 1 through 3, that would be good.
Okay, so if he had 1, 2, 3, you would take it.
More than likely, yeah.
So, sis, is the finance thing capped?
Cap in terms of what Dana talking about?
Not even necessarily what Dana talking about, but like, yo, he come with the right stuff. He look how you want him to look. You giving yourself reasons why his money ain't the biggest issue.
Oh no, a good conversation, affection, conversation, those things outweigh that. He's just gotta. I started saying, well, damn, nigga, just be able to take care of your damn self, So at 40,000, at the very least, he can do that, So I'm already at 1 through 3 being overly important.
Are you an outlier, sis?
I don't want to think so.
Speculate. What you think?
No.
Okay. So you think the majority of women are gonna fold? Right nigga come, right looks. He can communicate effectively, etc.
Yeah. Yes. That's why
men
been. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Is fold the right word?
Fold. I think overlook or not even care at the end of the day, and then make it work. That's why Baby Boy was so popular. A lot of people could identify.
Yeah, a lot of niggas be couch surfing like a motherfucker, right? And sis, the one thing I was speculating, let me ask Nay. One thing I was speculating was this. We talk about how Pookie and Ray Ray, you hear that all the time, right? He offering penis and good looks. He don't give a fuck. He treats you how you want to be treated. You wish you can get more from that nigga. You wish he met his potential. Wish, right? But they saying these niggas got all the access, right? Because they got the swagger. I think they call it motion or Riz nowadays.
Yeah, Riz.
Yeah. So we'll say I'm just seeing if I could be totally off, right? We say that, right? And then in the same breath, we say all women do is care about your money. But if that's the case, why is Pookie and Ray Ray scoring all the fucking time? He ain't come with no bread. He coming with
his swag.
Coming with his swag, looks, and all this other shit. He getting cheek. Y'all wish he would be better, right? I'm just feeling like these are contrary points.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
What y'all think?
That's kind of why I asked Dana that. Like, if the guy is coming, he got this confidence about him. He has some swag. He got a pretty good head on his shoulders. Why would you look at him and say, "Well, no, because you don't make enough for me"? And that's no diss. I mean, that's what you would do, and that's understandable. But I'm like, there are some women. I know you don't want to say some. There are women out there that will be okay with that because they're like, well, I make money too. I just want a man. I want somebody to love on me and give me affection. There are women that are thinking in that way.
But what I'm speculating is women that are like marrying, right? So the average age to get married, I think, is like between 28 and 32. So let's say we lean more towards 32, right? Up that way. You think those women are more likely to make concession like, hey man, long as, like sis said, you can pay your own bills, you can do all those other things, well, I'll take it.
That happens. I do think that definitely happens.
You think speculate? Do you think? Hold on, Mary. Speculate. Do you think it's the majority of women that are more likely to just kind of take that deal, or you think in like Dana, like, listen, my nigga, Amazon truck ain't cutting it over here.
You know what? I think as you get a little older, I think that's when it happens. When you get a little older, just like, you know what, it's okay, because you want companionship, so you can see and say, you know what, in a sense, I'll take what I can get. Sometimes that's the sentiment. If you already feel like, well, I'm established and I'm not with you for your money, I'm with you because I like you as a person. That ends up happening. I think that's the case with a lot of women.
Damn.
I got a question though. Like, why? I just hate that we perpetually push this struggle love. Like, go for the potential. If he's X, Y, and Z and all of the other things, then why isn't it enough that he is those things but doesn't check this particular box? Why are we signing up for struggle love? Why are we acting like we, not anybody on this panel in particular, but just generally speaking?
Struggle love is money. My bad. Yeah. Struggle love is money, Dana?
Yeah, struggling monetarily, yes.
Oh.
So I don't understand that, and it's more so to Black women that it's pushed upon that we're supposed to make concessions, we're supposed to make allowances, we're supposed to relax our standards. No, we want to be secure too.
Poor white trash be married all the time.
But I guess, but there's times when there's some men out there. There are men out there that can still make good money salary wise, but don't know how to spend. I actually dated somebody.
That's
was like
that's a moot. That's slightly moot though. That's a different conversation.
But that happens. So I'm like, you can't just go off of.
I know, but Nay, that's not really quite what she's saying. Mismanagement of money is will always be a thing, broke or not.
To me, it's like you're making poor life decisions. Why are you almost? If we're talking generally speaking, if you're 30 to 40 years old or better, why are you only making $45,000 a year? What did you? What are these?
I think,
well, Dana, I just want to tell her this real quick. I was looking up average income for men that are like 40 through 55. It was like 53 grand or so.
Right.
I mean, it's better than 40.
Is this nationally?
Yeah, on an average, yeah.
Also, understand that when I'm talking these numbers, it's a little skewed because I am still talking about the DMV area because I've spent my entire adult life here, where everybody makes more money than most other places in the country.
But it
But
it also
nobody
evens
ever-
out because of the cost though too, right? Like I mean, it's cost so much to live in a DC that 70 is 50, you know, for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
But Dana, consider this, and then Ro and Mary, you can jump. I just want to ask her this real quick. Isn't it? I would surmise that he's making 40, right? So he can't give you number 4. But if he can give you 1 through 3, I would argue that you ain't struggling. And then I would argue conversely that if you got 4 and didn't get 1, 2, 3, or 5, you struggling.
I agree.
I'm just trying to understand the premise of money. Go ahead, Rose. Sorry.
And that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, Dana, because I when I think of struggle love, I think of James and Florida Evans. Okay, like James, we didn't know when he worked. We knew that periodically he worked. We knew that he had to go all the way to Alaska, got killed, and he had to, I think that if like Hamp said, if you can get 1 through 3 and he's making, and I'm not trying to change your mind. What I'm saying is,
why?
If we are good, because that's what she wants.
Change the mind.
If we're talking about, because I think you were the ones that said you only want a black man, right? If you only want a black man, you know that their income only goes so far, and you don't make the average income. And if the average income is, like Hamp said, $50,000 a year, that's not going to compare to what you make ever.
Then in that case, then we're full circle in the conversation. I would rather be single.
And so then we go back to the original statement earlier of it is a choice. It is a choice out of not receiving what you feel that you need, that you have decided that you're going to remain single.
I just don't want to, I mean, we're talking about it right now because Hamp asked the question. I don't want to make it seem as though that is the number one thing that I look for when I'm seeking a mate. Okay. That's not it. The other things are paramount. They're very, very important. Okay. So I just want that to be known as well. That's not the number one. It's not the first thing, but we're not going to act like finances are not important, huge in relationships. And they're, number 2 cause of divorces in the country. So we have to have those discussions, and we have to be more comfortable being uncomfortable talking about our finances and talking about what we want and accepting, setting the bar a little bit higher and being okay with it, and not downing people for not, I'm not saying that any of you are, but not looking down on people who have a certain expectation because you're accustomed to a certain life or you want to have a certain life. That's a preference, and it's literally security. If I decide to marry a man and we decide to have children and I am not going to work because I'm going to raise my children, you got to be able to fucking support us. That's security.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So it's not all these what ifs and, well, he's a nice guy and he provides fuck all of that. That's nice, but you need to provide. You need to protect. You can't protect me if you can't provide for me, brother.
So is that what it is? Because I think women, we tend to look at high income. We equivalent that to leadership and marriage. So is that what it is? Like if his income is not high enough for you, it's just like a automatic no for you. That was part one.
If I'm making you the leader of my life, of my household, you are my safety net. You can't be my safety net making $45,000 a year. You just can't. Okay, and especially because I do want a family.
Yeah.
It's just not feasible. It's not realistic, and it's ridiculous to say otherwise. And it's ridiculous to force expectations on other people for wanting security in your relationship.
Question, Dana.
Yeah.
Why is it speculated that Maria can do it?
What?
Yeah, so Maria will be on the corner of Nanny and Helen Burroughs, right when you get off the exit, selling her flowers. She'll go home, cook, clean. Hector cutting grass like he doing. They bringing in $60,000, and it's alleged that Hector getting all the respect, love, and all that in the world. Why is his title and his leadership not tied to his pockets? Why is it tied to his pockets for us?
That's because they got wealth over in their country for real. They just
No, I think that it's still tied to it, but it's a different dynamic. They also the ones that you're talking about, without sounding racist, the ones that you're talking about, they also live differently. Their families live together in the same house. Mom, dad, sister, brother, grandparents, everybody is contributing to the household. And like Nate was saying, a lot of times they're sending shit back to their families at home. They're trying to make a living. That's not the same, and that's not my reality. So I can't speak to.
But Dana, can you look at the priorities though? The priority to that you just kind of painted out, and obviously we speculating, right? We just going on, that family commitment, right? That it would seem like there's affection there, right? Because they got that one goal, right? Mm-hmm. They know where the money is, the goals are clearly understood. I guess my question is, where's the respect lie between us?
Okay.
Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, and we out.